welcome to today's video. And in today's video, I'll be doing a 2024 election prediction between Maryland Governor Larry Hogan and incumbent President Joe Biden. I'm gonna go start by labeling all Biden safe states. This would be a really weird matchup overall. I just think it's probably not gonna happen. Hogan's chances of making it out of a Republican primary are incredibly slim. But just assuming that he does, obviously he probably won't. This would be a very weird matchup. It's just a really weird matchup. But I've labeled their safe states. We could see Mississippi slip down to being likely. I think that Hogan's not nearly as good with the black vote as Trump was. In Biden's, or at least he was in the primaries. I don't necessarily know that he is in a general election. But at least in the primaries, he was pretty good with the black vote. So I think we could see Mississippi slip down to being likely. But I think there's still a pretty good chance that it stays safe. For Biden's likely states, Colorado, New Mexico, Maryland, Virginia. Virginia's a hard call, but I'm going to give it to him likely. Maine, not New Hampshire, and Minnesota. Well, Hogan has Kansas, Missouri, Indiana, South Carolina, and Alaska. So for Biden, in Colorado, it was likely in 2020. I see Hogan performing worse with the Hispanic and Latino vote than Trump, but I do see him doing better in the suburbs. New Mexico, I think that, so in 2020, Colorado voted to the left of New Mexico. I feel like New Mexico could probably vote to the right of Colorado, or to the left of Colorado in 2020 or 2024 if this were to be the matchup, because Hogan has a lot less appeal to oil workers, I think, and obviously has less appeal to Hispanic and Latino voters than Trump, but significantly more suburban appeal, so it would be really weird, but I do think they're going to be likely. Virginia, it's a tough call, because we're likely going to see Hogan doing much better in the Nova suburbs and along the border of Maryland and Virginia. I mean, like, he's from Maryland. Maryland, obviously it isn't, but a lot of Maryland are DC suburbs. Not all of it, but a lot of Maryland are DC suburbs. Obviously, like, when you get up here, it's not a DC suburb, but a lot of Maryland, large parts of Maryland are DC suburbs. And he is a pretty good suburban candidate, so I do think Virginia would probably be likely. Probably more like a 7% margin of victory for Biden. Maryland is likely just because it's Hogan's home state, and he's going to perform very well there. It could be safe. It would not be insane if it was safe. Maine, it's pretty inelastic. I feel like Hogan's a decent Republican to win the state, but it's still probably going to be, like, D+8, D+7, if Hogan does well. Maybe D+6. If Hogan does really well, but I doubt it would slip down to lean. Minnesota, Hogan's going to do better. It depends. Hogan, I would normally say would do better around Minneapolis. It's a pretty blue area. But he's also going to significantly underperform with the working class. So I do think that would still probably be likely D. For Hogan's likely states, Alaska, it's shifting to the left. We're going to see more and more Native American turnout. I don't think that would favor Hogan very heavily. I also don't see him getting enough support from oil workers to be able to win it. Kansas was likely in 2020. If Trump couldn't carry it safe, Hogan definitely can't. Or if, at least against Biden, he definitely can't. I see him getting more strength around Kansas City suburbs and probably in the Wichita area, or at least Wichita suburbs, I guess. But he's going to do significantly worse with the rural vote, and there's going to be a lot less rural turnout. Missouri, similar thing. He's going to do worse with white, rural, Midwestern farmers, and there's probably going to be less turnout. Indiana, he's not going to have the same working class appeal as Trump. He just doesn't. And we're likely going to see I feel like there's going to be a good chance we see the working class. I think we see Biden do very well at the working class, but we also see a lot of working class voters not turning out, which would, I think, or Trump working class voters not turning out, which I think would probably obviously favor Biden. South Carolina, I don't see Biden being weak enough with the black vote. I don't see Hogan being strong enough with the black vote for it to not be likely. Obviously, it's probably still going to be likely. So for Biden's lean states, I'm going to go give him Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and that is it. Well, Hogan's lean states are... Actually, I don't know if he has any. I'll give him Texas. It's hard to tell in Texas. Arizona as well. So, for Biden, in Nevada, I don't see Hogan having the strength with the white working class. I don't see him doing well enough in the state's super blue suburbs, and I also don't see him doing well enough in or with white rural voters. Across the entire Rust Belt, I don't see. I think Hogan could probably do decent with the black vote, maybe. But I still think that overall we're gonna see the white working class vote against Hogan and vote pretty favorably for Biden. I think he's not gonna get Obama numbers, but we could see him do similar or more similarly to Obama. We could see a return to Obama-like numbers. I'm not gonna say anything similar to Obama though, because that's highly unlikely. With Pennsylvania, I mean, Michigan could be likely. Wisconsin and Pennsylvania could both be tilt. Wisconsin, I just don't see Hogan getting enough working class appeal from the 3rd district. Pennsylvania, I mean, he's a good suburban candidate, but I don't see it being enough. In Michigan, I mean, it's become a pretty competitive swing state, and I see Hogan doing better around Detroit and its suburbs, as if its suburbs weren't already pretty red, but regardless. For Hogan's lean states, by the way, New Hampshire is lean for Biden. Hogan's probably going to do slightly better with the white rural college educated vote. But other than that, it'll be pretty inelastic. But that'll shift it a little bit to the right. For Hogan's lean states, Arizona, I see Hogan significantly improving with in the suburbs. I see him doing very, very well with traditional conservatives in the suburbs, which is why he'll probably win it by a lean margin. We will see him do pretty poorly with the Hispanic and Latino vote, so it could slip down to tilt. But I'm still going to give it to him. Lean in Texas, this was a close call between lean and tilt. I think that Hogan's going to get a lot less white rural turnout. We're going to see more, not only a larger share of the electorate, but there's a decent chance we see just more voter turnout from, or I don't know, maybe, from Hispanic and Latino voters that are being underrepresented, and that Biden will likely, not only obviously do better with them because he's now an incumbent and he's not against Trump, but I don't think that Hogan's very good for him. I do think it would be strong enough, though, in the suburbs to keep it red and probably keep it like R plus 1.5. And that is it for the lean state. Main second. At this point, it's pretty conservative. I can see Hogan doing pretty well, or decent enough with the white rural vote to keep it by like 3%. And finally, the tilt states. Nebraska's first, or second. Iowa, Ohio. I know these are surprising. And Georgia. Well, Hogan will get North Carolina and Florida. So these are very weird, I know. Nebraska's first. Hogan's gonna be a much. It could be lean. I'm gonna give it to him lean. Hogan's gonna be a stronger suburban candidate. And it's gonna be tilt. I don't think that he has all that suburban strength. He has to flip it, but I do think he's gonna be significantly stronger in the suburbs, and he'll probably become competitive, or very competitive. In Iowa and Ohio. Here's the thing. This is going to be a lot like 2012. Biden and Obama and Hogan and Romney are fairly similar. Hogan is probably farther to the left than Romney, and there's probably a smaller difference between Biden and Obama, but Biden's probably still farther to the left than Obama. So they're very similar. Hogan, an establishment. Romney was a traditional Republican, but Hogan more moderate, and Biden an establishment moderate Democrat. So I just think that he's gonna win over enough Obama 2012 voters. And I mean, I feel like his economy so far is looking like it's gonna be pretty strong. He's looking like he's gonna beat COVID, and I don't see Hogan getting enough support. In Georgia, this was a tough call. I think we're gonna like to see a lot less white rural turnout. We're going to see Biden doing significantly better in Atlanta and its suburbs. Or not necessarily in its suburbs, because obviously I think that Hogan would do better with the suburbs. But as they're diversifying more quickly, I think that Hogan is slowly going to be a worse candidate for him. Well, Trump would be a better candidate. He's obviously still going to be awful for the suburbs, Trump, regardless. But I think that it's actually probably going to be better for the Democrats. It depends. I think that Hogan at the moment would be better than in the suburbs than Trump, but 10 years from now, Trump will probably be slightly better, just because I think that Trump is a stronger candidate for the black vote than Hogan. We're gonna see these suburbs continue to get larger and larger black populations. So that's why it's gonna be close, but I am gonna give it to Biden tilt. These two, North Carolina and Florida. Florida more so, but they were pretty hard calls. North Carolina, I see Biden doing better with the working class. I see less rural voters turning out. And I see him doing probably a little bit better in more urban areas like Charlotte and Raleigh. But I see Hogan doing significantly better in the suburbs, enough to keep a Republican. In Florida, this was a pretty close call. I think that Hogan is likely going to do better in the suburbs. He's likely going to do better in Pinellas County, Seminole County, Jefferson County, Monroe County, Duval County. He's going to do better in these areas. He's likely going to do better with the older white vote, but I think he's going to do really, really bad in Miami. In more urban areas. It's going to be a close call, but I am going to give it to Hogan tilt. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like below. Stay tuned for my next video tomorrow. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.